What's up, everybody? How you doing today? Binga, 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 boonga, binga, bing, binga, lay. Okay, great. Now that we got that out of our systems. This week, I gotta take these off because there's a huge effing door right there that doesn't have a curtain on it. So the sun just beams in constantly. And it has this weird glare on my glasses. Now I can't really see you, but we're gonna wing it. So, this week's topic is appetite changes on tea. And let me tell you, puberty number 2 is not fun. It's not fun. So, I have been on tea for 3 years now. My 3 years was last week, and I think my appetite has kind of finally leveled out in a sense. Like there's still sometimes when I get the fluctuations, like the huge fluctuations, when I'm just like, food now, gotta do it. But I'd say most of the time it's pretty normal. I've always kind of been somebody who just loves food. I just love it. It's, wow. It brings me such comfort when I'm sad or happy or tired or, really any emotion. It just is my friend. When I first started tea, I was starving constantly. Didn't matter how much food I ate, I was starving. It felt like a garbage disposal. Words. It felt like a garbage disposal that didn't have the bottom of the garbage disposal, so you just like shredded all the food and it just fell out of a hole in the bottom. So that wasn't really fun. It was very expensive because I had to eat I think it was like every hour and a half I had to have something to eat or else I was like dying. And it was just a mess. I'm not like a huge breakfast person, but I would have to eat breakfast, and then when I got to work I would have to eat something else again, and then like every hour and a half I would have to have some kind of snack because I felt like my whole body was just eating itself at all times. It started to slow down once I hit about 6 months on tea, and at around 6 months I started to get like not hungry ever, and I would just sleep all the time. So my appetite really was like suppressed at that point, and I was like, this isn't good. So I called my doctor and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but all I want to do is sleep and I'm not hungry. And this is a crazy drastic change from what was just going on, because a month ago, not even, I was starving to death at all times. And my doctor was like, okay, let's do a blood test. They took a blood test, they did my tea test, and we found out that I was anemic. So that was something that the tea kind of changed, because it turned out that I was anemic before tea, but then I wasn't anemic when I was on tea, and then all of a sudden my iron just dropped off and I was anemic again. And now it's fine. But once I got on iron pills, my appetite spiked again. And that sucked because that medicine makes you poop like black and feel like rocks. And it makes your pee orange. So it looked like I was peeing that high C that they used to have at McDonald's. And it made me look like I was pooping charcoal rocks for a grill. So it was just a friggin' mess. And because I was eating so much, I was pooping like 15 times a day. I mean, I poop a lot. It's one of my favorite hobbies. But 15 times is a lot. I mean, that's probably an exaggeration, but it was a lot. Then around a year on T, I started to level out again. And that lasted. It's pretty much lasted. But I did get my dose increased twice within the last year. And I've always been somebody that loves chocolate, but since my increase in my dosage, I have found that chocolate, I need it at all times. I just need it. Like, I want somebody to give me an IV that just has chocolate in it and just inject it directly into me, because I physically need it. If I don't have at least one piece of chocolate every day, I feel like shit. I feel like somebody hit me with a bus. I can't do it. It's my happy thing. It's my sad thing. I love it. I need it. It's a mess. Also, I've recently become re-addicted to soda. I also need that. And I drank iced tea yesterday for the first time in like, what would you say, 2 months? For the first time in like 2 months, and I felt like I was dying all day long. So I tried. I really did try. And yes, I understand iced tea has caffeine in it, which is why I drink iced tea, because I hate fucking water. Because if I was supposed to drink water, I would have been born a fish, or like a turtle or a frog, some shit like that. But I wasn't. I'm a human, so I like my caffeine. I like my chocolate. Iced tea has caffeine in it, but clearly not as much as soda. So like, I always drank iced tea prior to my soda fiending, but now it's just bad. So by 12:30 yesterday, I had to have a soda because I thought I was dying. I was going through caffeine withdrawals, and I don't know. Like, it's just all over the place. It's crazy. It's good. It's bad. It's still fluctuating 3 years later, and it's been pretty level, my appetite-wise, but who freaking knows? Who knows? Next week I could be, like binge eating, I don't know, stuff from the garbage can. You don't know. I don't know. It really, some days I'm like, I'm not really hungry. Other days I'm like, we gotta eat again. I know we just ate in 10 minutes, but we gotta eat again. And I need chocolate. I just need it. I don't know. So, if you're starting tea, or if you're thinking about starting tea and you're worried about what your appetite's gonna be like, I don't think there's any one specific person, including any doctors that you're gonna see, that are gonna be able to predict what's gonna happen with that, because it really is different for everybody. I know people that never got spikes in their appetite. I know people who their spike still hasn't stopped and they're over 5 years. That it's just how it is. But it really depends on your body makeup and the way your body reacts to things. So, I mean, if you're worried about that, don't be. I mean, that's one of the least difficult changes. Some things are mentally way more draining, and I know that may not be as easy for everybody, because I understand people have like different relationships with food than I do. But if you are going through something like that, see a doctor about your appetite changes when it happens, because they're the only people that can really help you with that and help you cope with that. And just know your own body, know what you can and cannot handle, and go from there. But that's my story, and I just remembered that I have 2 king-size Reese's Cups over there. So I'm going to go eat those now because I'm really happy that I have them. So I'll see you guys next week.